Well, good morning everybody. It's Friday and I'm out on my health walk along the canal. This week I've no one walking with me. I'll quickly turn the phone around. See that group of lovely young ladies ahead of us? That's my walking group, but we've had a conversation today and my Achilles is feeling particularly sore, so I've told them to go and enjoy themselves and I will catch up with them at some point, probably as they overtake me on the way back. So we're going a different way up the canal today. I actually haven't walked this way, but it's a canal towpath, so it's fine. I'm going to turn you off me now and turn you around so you can see the beautiful scenery. So challengers. Oh, hang on, where's my turnaround? Is that it? There we go. So challengers. This is Loch Gilphead Canal. This is the canal that you are used to, going off in that direction. And this way we're heading towards Ardrishaig. And if I just spin you around, this is one of the Loch Gilphead housing estates and a little industrial estate. And if you can see those green fields off up there in the distance about there, that backs onto my house. So, what do I want to talk about today? Well, I've been in Glasgow for 2 days at network meetings and I've met some new ladies, some very interesting ladies, and I've met some new network leaders. And I can't say that I was particularly impressed. So today I really want to talk about the vocabulary that we use, the language, the way that we construct a sentence, and how that can make people feel. So let me set a scene for you. On Wednesday there was a launch of a new lunchtime networking, and this has been in planning stage for certainly 8 weeks that I know of. And the lady who has been put in place to be the administrator has done a sterling job on social media, and she has whipped up a lot of interest and got lots of new faces to this luncheon, where we expected to meet the owner. So, hello, there's a lady. See, this is how slow I go. There's a lady overtaking me. She's now going to be in the Facebook Live, so we better let her know. So we expected to meet the owner of this network club. Anyway, the administrator greeted us and she's wonderful. She's very engaging, very enthralling. And we were taken into a side room. Need to change hands, going to change your direction for a bit. No, you're looking in the sun, you want to go that way. And she explained what was going on. She turned us over to the presenter. The presenter was absolutely enthralling. Her name is Sylvia Baldock, and any of you in the Glasgow area, you may already be acquainted with Sylvia, as she does an awful lot of mindset, confidence and self-esteem work. She is utterly incredible. Her story is amazing. So she was halfway through her presentation when there was a bustle at the back of the room, and in walked a lady in a very flustered manner. Sylvia stopped her presentation to greet the lady. I'm not giving her name, you'll see why later. Who, without stopping to say, is it okay if I say something, launched into, oh, I'm terribly sorry, ladies. I left Birmingham at 6 o'clock this morning and it's taken me all this time to get here. The time was now 12:15. Well, I personally wasn't shocked. I think anybody who's done this journey probably isn't that shocked, to be fair, that Birmingham to Glasgow on a Wednesday morning is going to take a while. So anyway, she then went on to explain who she was, what she did and why she was there. Well, it turns out she was the owner of the network. Well, first impressions count. But one of the things that she said in her opening was I am sincere, authentic and truthful. I'm sorry, if you have to tell me that you are sincere, authentic and truthful, I'm guessing you're probably not. Now, those of you that have known me for a while know that I say I base my business model on authenticity. I strive to be authentic, but I give you the power to make the decision on whether I am or whether I'm not. She was telling me that someone that burst through a door rudely interrupted someone else's presentation and then said, oh well, it's all down to traffic that I'm not here, is sincere and authentic. She then went on to explain, after Sylvia had finished, what her model was for her business club, how much it was going to cost, and she then said the words that sealed my decision. This is a global networking group that she is trying to create. It currently exists in Birmingham and Glasgow. She has expansion plans for London, for Paris, for Southampton, for Nairobi, for Namibia, and a couple of other African countries. I just need to show you the loch. Can you see how beautiful the loch is? There's always beauty everywhere. Anyway, I'm going back to this lady. She then said, your membership will pay for me to travel to all these other places to launch this club. I'm sorry? My membership will pay to send you travelling? No, I really don't think so. There were other things in her clearly prepared script that I considered to be inappropriate. She mentioned that she was just back from, we see it made that much of an impact, I can't remember where she was back from, some far-flung place she'd just flown back in from. And she'd spent Monday evening playing with her grandchildren, playing with her children, playing with, oh no, I can't possibly say playing with my husband, can I? Ha 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 ha. I don't need to know about what she does in her private life. Now, she could have phrased that with, I have just had a really empowering week out with my new ladies in wherever she was, Colombia or whatever, and I came back and spent quality time with my family. So this really got me thinking, and I spent a few hours with a couple of other ladies who were at the network, because be under no illusion, there were 20 ladies around that table who in their own right, individually, were exciting and interesting, and I've connected with them. And it is amazing, in the 48 hours since Wednesday, or 24 hours or whatever we are at, we've emailed each other and everyone's asked the same question. Will you be joining their network? And we're all saying no. And had it just have been the administrator and Sylvia that was our experience of this particular networking club, we would all have been all over it like a rash, because it would have represented fantastic value. But the owner came in and she said some things that were clearly practiced. This wasn't off the cuff stuff for her. This was clearly practiced. And she turned us all off. Really, 100%, no one is interested in joining her club. And that's really sad. But it has given me the subject for the Facebook Live, which, as you're going through and you're changing your one thing, you're changing aspects of your life, you really need to think about the language that you use with others. I believe that when we talked about self-care, we talked about the inner mind chatter, we talked about taking the mickey out of ourselves, and how if we keep saying those derogatory things, actually we believe it becomes our truth. So you really need to think about the words that you are using and not make in-jokes, not make slightly bawdy comments that may absolutely engage your audience in one part of the country but may totally alienate your audience in another. I checked us in at the particular event that we were at before the owner arrived. I was very excited. I love meeting new people. When I checked that Facebook post later in the day, I noticed that she had replied, and her reply was, "Lovely to connect with you, dear." Dear. I have a name. She asked me on the day, did I want a selfie? She loves selfies. I replied, no thank you, and turned and walked away. I didn't see very many people doing a selfie with her that day. I didn't want her accessing my network. I didn't want her peddling what she believes is empowerment. Now, I can't quite see these messages. There's one from Kathleen saying beautiful scenery. Yes, it certainly is. And thank you for sharing. That's fine, Kathleen. Lovely to have you here. The sun is now not blinding me anymore, so I can actually see. Let's give you a shot through the trees. Hang on, you see through the trees? See the lock opposite, bit of sun creeping through? I understand that people down south are having terrible, terrible rain at the moment. I'm just making the most of no rain here. It's absolutely gorgeous. So, this owner has remarked on my Facebook page, my Facebook post rather, and for me that makes it even worse, that she has used a term of endearment for me when she could have actually tagged me instead with my name. And for me, somehow tagging me would have been less invasive somehow. Anyway, this is about thinking carefully what you're saying, thinking carefully about your first impression. I always thought you had 5 seconds to make a first impression on someone. Sylvia indicated in her presentation that you have 1/10 of a second. That no matter how liberal we consider ourselves to be, how non-judgmental, the first time someone steps in front of you, you make a subconscious decision about them based on the way they present to you, their clothing, their smiling, their hair, and then they open their mouth. I have long been heard to say of Owen Farrell, the England rugby player, wonderful man, looks fantastic. That's my 20 minutes, means I've got to turn around, so you're going to see a different bit now. So here we go, turn around, and we're on our way back. Owen Farrell, lovely man, fantastic physique, good at kicking. Don't open your mouth and speak, I can't cope with your sunshine. And that is terrible. I'm making a judgment about a man that I have never met, that I know nothing about other than on the rugby pitch, and I've made that decision. I did feel the same about Adele, the singer, as well, however. So we have 1/10 of a second in which to make a first impression. Now, we can change first impressions, but once they're embedded, it is difficult. 1/10 of a second. So think about how you walk along standardly. Do you walk along head down? I can demonstrate this, hang on. It's me again. Do you walk along head down, not really looking at anybody, just looking at the floor? Or do you walk along with a big smile on your face, even when you don't feel like smiling? Do you do that? And people that you meet, you smile. Hello, how are you? What are you up to today? Keep going. 1/10 of a second could make all the difference. Right, back to the canal, because it's much prettier than me. See, did you hear that negative self-talk? Now that just slipped out. Actually, the canal is not much prettier than me. There we go. So, I hope that today has given you something to think about, something to maybe work on as you are changing. Certainly those of you who want to gain more customers, get more income, don't forget that words aren't just spoken words, but your written words. So what are your written words saying about you? Are they encouraging people to come to you, attracting people? Are they making it easy for people to buy from you when you're at that stage in the relationship? Those of you that are looking to boost your confidence, getting out there on stage and presenting, what are your words going to say? Now, I went to a lovely network meeting yesterday. I went to East End Connections, and I'm utterly delighted to talk about East End Connections and Fiona Colburn Brown, because she has an all-inclusive networking opportunity. Men, women, East End, South Side, although she does call the South Side the dark side, Blackpool, Oxford, Argyle, we all go. Edinburgh, we had loads of people from Edinburgh yesterday. It was stunning. So went to that, and we all have to give a 15-20 second pitch, and every month Fiona drops in something new that you have to do, and this week it was 5 words to sum up next year. 5 words, gosh, really difficult, but it was an interesting exercise to listen to what people were saying. And how many people used 5 words and how many people used 500 sentences? That's always very interesting as well. So I think at some point I may have to do a Facebook Live on listening skills, you never know. So, those of you that are decluttering your life, your words are going to be your inner mind chatter. Your words are going to be the words that encourage you to get on and do that decluttering, that encourage you to make changes. I'm just going off the beaten track to show you straight up the canal. And look, there's me. Hello. Those of you that are changing different things in your life, make sure that the words you say to yourself are encouraging, engaging, and motivational. So that's the view. This is Miller's Bridge that I'm stood on now. This is the view up from Miller's Bridge. And this, look how calm that is today. Isn't that just beautiful? And this is the view down from Miller's Bridge towards Cairn Barn. And I'm going to walk all the way down that towpath and round the corner. So I think I have waffled enough on vocabulary and use of words. And I am going to love you and leave you. And we will catch up again on Monday. And I will have decided what we're going to talk about on Monday's Zoom call over the weekend. So for now, this is Sam at the Crinan Canal saying bye-bye, Kathleen. It's been lovely speaking to you. Bye for now.